As my honourable colleagues have previously discussed, it's accepted by most jurisdictions that a state pension is not intended to provide the full means to achieve this level of expenditure, and that individuals would have alternative sources of income. That's to say savings and or an occupational pension, and that a robust welfare system would supplement additional financial need for those without a full pension.
Well, it's not so much what one needs to live, it's what one would like to have to live to what is perceived as an acceptable standard by the person. So there's a couple of moving parts in there.
It was very clear through the poverty survey that our pensioners in the Falklands were having a really tough time, especially those who are reliant solely upon state pension. With the last budget, they finally put it up because it was frozen for a year, and they put it up by 8.3%, so it's now £192.57 a week, which is still £30 behind a UK state pension. So I think the cost of living here is pretty much on par now with the UK in many respects.
There are other safeguards in place through the social welfare department, so somebody perhaps who may not be getting a full state pension because perhaps they haven't paid in enough quotas for whatever reason. I mean, there are some top-ups there to keep them to a level, because we're not going to have anybody here in poverty, that's for sure.
Our pensioners don't complain. They make do. They're a generation who's always learnt how to budget to their means. They're fiercely proud. One of them wrote on the back of one of the slips saying, "It's a good job I have savings, because that's basically what's keeping me afloat at the moment." And I don't think they were alone, because I've met other pensioners who've said very, very similar things. And personally, I think your savings are there to give yourself a treat when you're older. It's that opportunity maybe to go and see grandchildren somewhere, or to buy some nice birthday presents for family and things like that. I don't think your savings should necessarily be there to pay for your everyday needs. That is why you pay into a state pension, so that at the end of your working life, you have enough money at least to be able to see you through a week with all your basic necessities. But at the moment, a month on the state pension probably wouldn't even pay for somebody's fuel bill.
We took a couple of runs at this. We had one go and it didn't seem to be quite right, so went away, had another calculation. There's still work going on at the moment between policy and Treasury, which they're hoping to have finished and presented by the end of this year. So we've got that coming yet. But it was trying to figure out at what levels they were living, if you see what I mean. Do we need to pump more into, say, social support, or find some other way to try and assist? But unless you know roughly what problem you're dealing with, of course, you don't quite know what to do, and you're thrashing around in the dark a bit.